Hey guys, we're gonna be going over the rares now for Fractured and Alterac Valley mini set. Make sure to check out the comments, but we're just gonna write it. I'm using the garbage, pretty decent, or broken to power scale. So first we got Wings of Hate, summon 2/1/1 Fell Wings, upgrades when you have 5 mana. Cards like this have seen play that don't upgrade. So reasonable power level, synergy with the token-based sort of minions dying style of Demon Hunter, where you know, upgradable, pretty decent. I could see seeing play. Nothing crazy. All right, and that's it. Next we got Raid Negotiator. So battle card discovery, choose one card. It has both effects combined, and I'm really not sure on this one. Like you can get some really cool ones. So you can get Nourish. Which would be, you know, very, very strong to hit, but you also could hit some bad ones, you know? So we really have to go and look at the all the choose one cards and see, is this powerful enough? Because 4-drops historically, I think people underestimate. They need to be very, very strong. I think people to see play in constructed. 4-drop tends to be an awkward turn. So 3-drops, for example, this was a 3 mana 2/3. I would say this is a very good card. But at 4 mana 3/4, it's a completely different beast. So I want to emphasize, like, yeah, like I said, if this were a 3 mana 2/3, I would definitely see this. This is going to see play. But at a 4 mana, not so much. So I'm gonna just look at Druid right now and say look at choose cards. So we've got Sow the Soil. Not that good for this. We got Druid of the Reef, not that good. We got Power of the Wild, not that good. So you can see a lot of cards not that good for playing this understated kind of low value card. You got Fair Arborist, okay. So I'm taking a look right now, and if you guys want to see, we've got, you know, some of the stuff, but you got Shando Wildclaw, which not that good. So you could see, bottom line is a lot of bad choose cards. Oh, I can get a 5/6. So, you know, Nourish is pretty good, but really, you know, Cenarius pretty good, but a lot of these are just not actually that good of choose cards. So if the pool, you know, the core set's coming up, depending on, I could see maybe next year if the pool gets strong enough where you get a high roll a consistent time, I could see this seeing play. But do I see it play in the current meta? No. So I'm gonna go with garbage. I just don't think this card's actually good. So maybe, you know, things change and I could see play, but right now I'm gonna go with garbage. So Boomkin, choose one, restore 8 health to your hero or deal 4 damage. And I think this is a thing of like, so what do I want to be doing? You know, but I want now. This does have some, you know, heal bot, and heal bot does see play. So, and it does have flexibility. So I think while I could say this is bad, it might be reasonable. Now, you don't really want to be playing on this on curve necessarily because you'd want to be removing the board, and it does have good stats. So for the effect, so, you know, at the end of the day, like this could be, you know, other cards that are clearly weaker see play. So I don't think this is as good as Druid as people think. Like armor tends to be a lot better than heal. If this was armor, I would say it's a better card. But that being said, cards like this have seen play before, and cards that are weak, objectively weaker, have seen this play before. So in the day, while I don't see it being that good, the reality is I think this could see play in the right deck. Like I wouldn't put this in Rapture today. I wouldn't put this in any Druid archetype right now. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like this doesn't really fit in any single deck I want to play. That being said, like I said, more stronger cards have seen play, or weaker cards have seen play. Objectively weaker cards. So I have to say pretty decent because of that. Because it could definitely see play. You know, a lot of cards are gonna get lost. Maybe Druid needs heals, losing things like Cenarian Ward. So, but yeah. Next, we got Dragonbane. Deal 2 damage, honorable kill, and a Dragonbane shot to your hand. This card is so good for Quest Hunter. It could also be used in just a normal hunter to, you know, use fight for board while, you know, but you use this with Quest Hunter. And if your opponent's like, it can just be so effective to control the board, and get more hero powers and get your quest completion better. So this card is just where it's fantastic synergy with Quest Hunter. I could see Quest Hunter's win rate going up significantly from this card. So I'm going to go with Broken. I think this card's really, really good. All right. Next we got Mage. Deal 1 damage to a minion and its neighbors, improved by the other S spells in your hand. I think this card, while like it's just powerful removal for a mage spell-based class, but I just think Mage I'd rather run Fire Sale. You know, like Fire Sale looks like an absolutely better card at this. Has tradable 5 mana cards, have to be really good. Imagine you don't have spells in your hand, or imagine your opponent has a wide board. You know, like if this card, God forbid, it sees play, people are gonna play around it. So I'm gonna go with garbage. I think this card will never see play. I think it's utter trash. All right. Next, we got Battle Vicar, Discover a Holy Spell. This is kind of a discover a spell with a 2-drop. You can discover Hand of Dolls. You can discover Libra of Hopes. I can see it seeing play. It doesn't discover you as many bad cards because Holy Spells tend to be good. You know, it's got a good stat line for a 2-drop discover card. Pretty decent. I could see it seeing play. So, and I forgot, is this card okay. So you know cards cards are probably bad when they're not from the mini set, and you can't remember if they're actually cards from the mini set. So next we got Lightmaw Netherdrake. If you're holding a Holy and Shadow spell, deal 3 damage to all other minions. So I think people are saying it's a 4/4. People are saying, oh, Dustbreaker #2. And I'm saying this is a lot harder to get off than you think. You know, having the 2 cards, you're going to have games where you just don't draw any spells. You're going to draw all your Holy spells and not your Shadow spell. You're going to draw your Shadow spells and not your Holy spells. I think this is a lot more difficult to pull off than you'd think. And, you know, but it is a powerful effect. And Dustbreaker was such a strong card that I'm not going to go with Broken. But at the same time, this is not like this is not garbage, but like if you think this is broken, you wait till you play it and you draw 3 holy spells and you have this in your hand and you try and draw cards and you just never draw a shadow spell and you lose the game. Now it's really good with the 5/5. So what is nice is you can play this the 5/5 as a taunt. Your opponent starts getting out of board, you draw your spells, you play this. So I still think this is a decent card, but you know, and I could see it seeing play, but definitely not broken. So I'm going to go with pretty decent. Next, we got Smokescreen. Draw 5 cards, trigger any death rattles drawn. Fun card, right? You know, you can do some powerful things that you'll be dead before you can play, even with prep. But it's a fun card. So, you know, somebody's going to make a deck of this on day 1. It's going to have, you know, a 35% win rate. I think Joe Alexander said, oh, feel free to play this with a 35% win rate. It's going to be fun, and then everyone's going to get sick of losing, and then this card will never see play again. End of story. So, you know, it does draw a lot of cards, but at the end of the day, we live in the world of Secret Passage. You know, 8 mana, draw 5 just doesn't cut it in today's power creeped world. So, I think this is garbage. So, yeah. All right, Bracing Cold. Restore 5 health to your hero. Reduce it cost random spell in your hand. So this is kind of interesting in that, you know, it's kind of can work as a mana biscuit. One is, first of all, this doesn't work on 0 mana spells or, you know, 1 mana spells. So this does work on 0 mana spells. It doesn't say it's so. I believe I could be wrong, but if it does say like you hit a Lightning Bloom, that's really terrible. But also, I just think this is just a very low value card. I don't think like just the heal is really that useful. And one nice thing is to do if you can like store up mana for like a big spell damage play with a Burn Shaman. But overall, I just think this is a very weak card. You know, there already are really, really good frost spells, so you don't need this spell for, you know, multicaster synergy. Bottom line, I think very bad card. I'm going with garbage. So next we got Don't Stand in the Fire. Deal to 10 damage. randomly split amongst all enemy minions. I think just this controls, especially as long as Snowfall Guardian's in the set, I'm not going to be wanting to kill my opponent's board when I can just freeze it. I don't even think Quest Shaman plays this card. Perpetual Flame just seems like such a stronger card than this. You know, once in a while when your opponent has a perfect 10 health card, life, the Seams card seems okay, but like removal has already been so power creeped. So spending 5 mana on removal with an overload, terrible. So I'm going with garbage on this one. So next we got Curse of Agony. Everyone's talking about this card. This card's really good. Shuffle 3 Agonies in your opponent's deck. They deal fatigue damage when drawn. So, and here's what the Agony looks like. Cast when drawn, take 1 fatigue damage. So it'd be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, 6. And you can duplicate it with Tamsin. So you can go Tamsin, double curse, and then your opponent will never be able to play Gyarados for your lethal. So I think this card's really, really strong. I don't know which deck this fits in. I don't know if it fits in Handlock. But like I think this card's really, really strong. I could see a deck built just making this their deck's win condition. You know, and especially with card draw being so strong in the current meta, I think cards like this look really, really good. You know, in a weaker card draw meta, you know, but like even the aggro decks often have good card draw. So if you're Face Hunter or Shadow Priest, those have bad card draw, but like think about Thief Rogue, which would draw through its whole deck often with Edwin's, and all of a sudden you get a Curse of Agony, bam. So I think this card's really, really good. I'm going with it broken. So, and yeah. Next we got Impfestation, a summon a 3/3 Dread Imp to attack each enemy minion. I just think, you know, this card is kind of fun. It's kind of like a Soul Mirror, but just, you know, it's kind of like Rancor, you know, but worse because you don't gain armor. So if you're playing defensively, for this card to be good, your opponent has to have a giant wide board. So the problem is what your opponent's going to do with Infestation, they're going to play a 1/3/4. You're going to clear like their whole board except for that 3/4, and then they're going to lethal you. So this card will never see play. It's pretty trash unless you have some sort of like, oh, summon X amount of imps to win the game kind of weird synergy. I think this card is garbage. So next we got Tradable, give a minion +2/+1 and rush. Kind of like Hand of a Doll, but power level, but no draw a card. At the end of the day, this costs value. Value matters. Now that being said, just because of the tradable mechanic, tradable cards see play in so many decks, even when they're bad. Tradable is such a strong thing. So that being said, this could have fringe use. So maybe you want a card to give it rush for some synergy with things like ETC. You know, I don't think I instinctively want to say this card is garbage, but I know these kind of cards, especially with tradable, can sometimes see fringe use. So I'm going to go with decent. I'm going to go with garbage, but I'm going to go with a garbage, but still might see play star addendum. So next we got I+. Oh wait, sorry. That's it for this. So let's find the neutral for rare is the Gear Grubber. Let's go get it. Gear Grubber. Here we go. Taunt. If you have any unspent mana, if you end your turn with any unspent, reduce this card's cost by 1. This card's really cool. Now you're offering not this, but it's kind of fun. You know, like I can play this. So another thing in Ramp Druid, often you're floating mana, and you can sort of use this to get this out fast against an aggro. But what I think could be interesting is like you could use this. We've kind of wanted to try Ramp Druid with so it's a cool card. It has some mana cheating. You could use it with things like oracles. So I don't want to count this, and it's neutral. So sometimes these kind of cards like Spammy Archivist, which is trying to be really good. One class, this card might address a weakness of that class, you know? So, you know, so it's a thing of, you know, we do hate floating mana in Hearthstone, but I could definitely see this card seeing some play. So I'm going to go with pretty decent. So far we got a lot of decent cards, not a lot of broken cards, and decent cards seeing fringe play don't make a big splash in the meta. We have like 1 or 2 broken cards. Next video we have epics and legendaries. So we'll talk about that, what looks good, what looks like bait. but nothing really that strong and that impressive from the mini set so far. The Warlock spell is kind of the most scary, powerful card I've seen so far. So anyways, hope you guys like that. Like and subscribe for more content, and we got epics and legendaries coming up next.